Right, we're hopping our workshop manual here, and what we're planning to do today on the case 1494 is we're going to remove this lower housing off the gearbox and clean the internal filter. Now, I'm not sure whether this can be done when the gearbox is full of oil or not, but at the moment ours isn't. So we'll get that off, drain the last of the oil out the bottom, and give the filter a clean, and back together after that. So here we go. Just and whilst I'm on it too, I'd suggest anybody who wants to work on their tractors, just see if you can hunt down a workshop manual for them, because it makes life a lot easier. Righto, so we'll head out to the tractor, and I'll crawl on underneath and show you where we're at. So we're going underneath the, might be easier from the back of the tractor. We'll hop round here and hop up underneath, get you in under here somewhere, and see if we can see where we are. Righto, I think, yeah, so that's the housing under there. Rightio, so now we're crawling around underneath the tractor, and if we spin you around that way, we'll take you right around the other side of that barrel. Yeah. It's a bit difficult under here because for some reason my little tripod's not quite short enough to get me beyond. Yeah. Right, I think you can sort of see a bit of what's going on there. So here's the, this is the drain bung for said component, and for some reason that's not wanting to undo. Oh yeah, it is. Now I'd already pre-loosened this because I'd been battling with this a couple of times already, and so I've pre-loosened this nut. Ooh. And as we can see here, there is watery, horrible looking oil coming out of there, and this component here is a cleanable filter as well, which is all covered in poo and goop. So we'll let that drain out a bit. As you can see, it was obviously well due for a clean up, and now I've got oily, dirty, yucky fingers, but that's all good. I think I shall just put that over there, and I'll have to just clean up where it was. I'll take this out of here and put it out there. I'll put it there. Then I'll go and find a dirty old rag. Find me a dirty rag so that I can clean my fingers, turn you off and on. Come back in. Oh. Right on. Now, what have we got? Righty-ho. Now, up on this side here, there's a pipe coming out. That's not making life easy, is it? So, up in here, we've got that's the return feed. Comes into the bottom of there, which you cannot see from where you are, and I doubt that I can make it so you can see it very easily. No, probably not, but you'll be able to work it out when you're doing it yourself anyway. There's the return feed there. So there's about a half a dozen or a dozen or so bolts around this housing here that I've got to undo, so I might as well put you off, get on and take that out, and then we'll have another look at it on the other side. Right, back we are. We've now got the main housing out. Inside here's the other filter there, so we need a little wee nutty butt to get out of there. We'll spin it to undo that, get the filter out. As you can see, there's a power of sludge and stuff in here, so it was well worth taking it out. We just got to give it a bit of a clean up and get it out of there. Then we'll start looking at giving it all a good wash out. So I just undo that there sucker, which will be that size. That was lucky. Hopefully it's lucky. He's not quite that size, what is he? If he's not 8mm, he'll be Imperial 5/16 maybe. Let's try 5/16. 5/16. Yep, that's his size. Give him a loosen. Righto. Out of there. Get that little hump out from down in there, wherever that's gone. I think this filter here should just, I think this one just must have a rubber hoodeckie on the bottom. Yep, as it does, a rubber hoodeckie on the bottom. You just get that out of there. Put it all over into there. And there's a yucky hole in there, full of yucky oil. And what am I going to do with that? I have to find something to pour it out in. Rightio, so have another crack at cleaning my fingertips so I can turn you off a while, and we'll go and find some, we'll get this oil and stuff out of there, and then we shall carry on. Righto, back again. We'll just drain this oil out from in the bottom, which we'll probably drain that out that way, can we? Yeah, we can. Get as much of it out as we can now, then we'll pour a bit of petrol in that other container there and give it a clean out. Don't really want to sit that down in there yucky. Sit it on that, it'll be alright. Oh, this is just not getting any better at all. Find the right product to get it out with, I suppose. Let's forego this bit of rag to the fireplace. As much of that sludge out of there as we can get out of it before we start putting cleaning solutions in it. I'll give her a hit with some degreaser, I think. Got all that stuff. Oh, that one's electrical cleaner, that ain't degreaser. Was I using that degreaser the other day? That'll be no good. Clean bit of cloth. Where's my torchy warchy got to? It's still. Where in the heck is my torch? Is that still way up there? No. No, it's not. Where's the flipping torch? There it is. Right. Let's do this. We'll put that there. Fire that in there, then you can actually see what you're doing, and I can see what I'm doing. Get that all as cleaned up as we can get it. So obviously she had a bit of water in the oil at some stage to be making this milky stuff. It's looking a bit better. I've got that. See if we can just. Oh, that's not going to do much because it's not actually a brush anymore, and looks like my torch is running out of power. That's always handy as well. Right. Let's get that as best cleaned up as we can, then we can move that out the way and we'll dump the rest of the dirty stuff on the bench. think we've made some headway there. I'll turn that down to the other lighty bit, and that's probably alright. We'll call that alright for the moment. I'll put that out the way. Over here, and we'll pull this lot here in, chuck a bit of petroleum in there, and give that a clean up. Normally I'd use some other form of cleaning solution, but at the moment I don't have any Kero or anything like that lying around, so we'll just use a bit of petrol. It'll do the same job. All does the same job. All gets oil and all dissolves oil and gets it out the way. Those two bits are cleaned. It's been a bit of an issue. They have to work a bit harder on getting that one clean. With a look at that, might need a bit of an air blow. Get that cleaned up. These are just they're just like a metal gauze type. So that's all just a metal gauze, and it's just all that sludge is just stuck in it. So we just have to get that sludge out of it. Once that sludge is all off, then it'll be tickety and blue. And if I have a decent look around, I'll find I've got over here a cleaning brush. Degreaser inside. And starting to get a little bit better looking. Brush there. It's looking pretty clean. Down there needs a bit of cleaning too. No rings up there. Right, so we'll put that there and continue on with this one. Both of these filters are metal gauze filters. Righto, so long, slow, laborious process. What I'll do again is I'll just put you on hold. I'll get these cleaned up and then we'll start looking at what we do next. Rightio, so managed to clean most of the dirty porridge off of this. So what all I'm going to do now is I'll just give it a rinse with some clean petrol. I'll just get all this dirt out of all this iron and dirt, iron filings and crap out of there, and wipe as much off the outside as we can get off, and then we'll pour a bit inside to flush it out. Hopefully, if we're lucky, it'll work. Okay. If we're lucky, it'll work. But yeah, so the rest of that horrible dirty stuff's off of there. clean now. This is also another wire mesh filter. It's not a replaceable. Well, you probably can get replacement ones for it, but it doesn't need to be. It's just a washable one. It's made out of wire mesh, designed for catching. Obviously, it catches sludge because it was full of that, and designed for catching little bits and bobs that come through the system. So use that bit of petrol that we've got left there for the cleaning of the inside of the housing. Let's get the last bits of sludge off in there. I know, just about as clean as we'll get it. Now we can start reassembly. Just drop the filter back down in here. There's an O-ring on it there. So just squeeze that back down in there. If I had a bit of clean oil, I could put a bit of oil on it, but it should be right. Yeah, it's going down in. That's just dropping down in there nicely. Just rock it backwards and forwards a little bit to get it down. Yep, that one's down. And we just remount this little holder to stop it from popping out. Nip her up. Now, pop that over there. Could use a bit of cleaning on the bottom of it probably, but that's not so terribly important. Clean around the bolt hole there. There's another one does up. All of that other rest of that bottom of that housing, I'll give that a bit of a clean up when I'll get round to poking some paint on it or something. Righto, so now back on pause for you, and we'll take you over to where we were earlier. Righto, so now I'm lying underneath my tractor again, and up in that direction you can see where I've got to put this housing back in. So I shall park you over this way, because I can't leave you there while I'm trying to put it in, and we'll see what sort of things we can show you. I think you can see there the housing. Yeah, you must be able to see that. So I've got to put a bit of silicone on that, because it doesn't seem to actually have, it's supposed to have a paper gasket, but it doesn't seem to have one. So we'll just put a bit of silicone on it, and we'll move forward from there. Presuming it needs a bit of sealant on it, because otherwise you'll end up with oil pouring out the bottom of your tractor all the time. Should do us. Pass that out to there. Right. So next thing we've got to try and do is get it up. And so we'll grab a couple of these shorty bolts. Let's put that spanner out the way. Grab a couple of these little shorty bolts, and we've got to work out where we're going to put it into, because it's not such an easy thing altogether. Got to get that up there. Little shorty bolt in there. Try and get in here without knocking you all over. Try not to drop it on my face. And where's you're not fitting? It's not fitting. Here, what not just fitting? Right, up into that direction, and that one up into that. Get that pointy bit up into the pipe somehow. Oh, yep. She's up into the pipe. That's up into there. So theoretically now, if I just work carefully over here, I can get the first bolt up and a couple of threads in, which I have just done. And I'm not getting too much oil on my face, so that's good. Get around here again without knocking you over. Try and change your point of opinion, which is now somewhere up there. And we can get around and put a couple more bolts in. The next thing after this, of course, is get all the bolts in, get the screw clamp done up again on the hoodaki, whatchamacallit, on the pipe that comes in. Get the clamp done up on the pipe that comes in, all the bolts in, and then I've got to put up the internal little filter. And so then once that's done, we are complete. So I suppose we'll just tiddle around here and get these up in their holes. Now there's all these bolts. Most of the bolts are Yolong. There's one in particular bolt which is Yolonga, which is down underneath me here, if I can get to it. And that goes in here beside just there's a longer bolt goes in right beside the intake from the return from the pump. And then the rest of them are all the same length other than that one. Oh, and that one folded out. Ah, you're a lovely little space to play, isn't it? This one in, and I've got two others there to thread in, and then they will be didded. Two more, and one goes up in there, which will be fun. I might be able to get them in. Hopefully I can get them up by sitting them in the socket and sending them up, because I can't get my fat fingers up in there. That one did. Last one, wherever he goes, somewhere around there where I cannot see at the moment, but it's bound to be. Oh, come on. Right, you go. You go. Not there. Get in the hole. There we go. That's not in the hole, is it? Get in the hole. You don't seem to want to listen. You need to listen. Oh no, there you go. I think that's probably enough for you. I suppose I can finalise it by sliding that back up where it came from, which is about there somewhere, hopefully. Yes. And then after tightening everything else up, that's the whole process.
Rightio, so the last part of this process is obviously going to be putting the oil into the back, which it takes makes 42 litres, so they tell us. So I'll show you the basic process of that, and then I'll just do a couple of jugs in and we'll call it quits. I'll put the rest in, but basically I'll put 40 litres in it now, and after it's been run up I'll top it up, because putting 40 litres in will probably bring it up above the height of the dipstick anyway, until all the galleries and the pump and the bits and bobs inside the gearbox and that will get a bit of oil through them. So let's get on with it, eh? So our filler bungs over here, the red one down here in the distance. Top that off, and I'll get a jug of oil. Getting something rather to undo this with, probably. I'll just have to get something to get the top off the oil container. Rightio, we'll just pop this top off the oil container. This is going to be fun and games too. Load up. That's fella. Like that. Load the first 5 litre in. That's the first one in there. Only another 7 to go. This will be number 2. I'll put you on hold and we'll show you number 8 coming in. Rightio, now we're on for number 8. I'm going to pull out the old dipper, and on the dipper it is up to, yes, it's way up here, and it should be down, well, I'll show you on here. The oil level's way up here, and it should be down in amongst those marks there. 42 litres should get us to there. At the moment we've put 40 and we're up there, so that shows us how much has to go through the system to, you know, get into the pump and the hydrostatic gear shift and all that sort of stuff. So that's pretty much it. I'll let you go back to what you're doing, and I'll see you another day.